as you probably know, there are people who want to play this game to have fun, and then there are people who want to play this game to break it. Or at least, let me rephrase that. Some people just have fun trying to do different things and break the game. And on screen, we've got a player who, talks a lot. Not important. T90 official. You might know him. And then the red, we got a player who I've made countless videos on. I say it in every intro. So if you haven't seen all the other ones, there's tons of them. Basically, going fast castle in Arabia, doing wacky crap, right? So, this is his new rush. And at the time of playing this was like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago, I knew that he was playing Armenians, but I didn't have an opportunity yet to watch the games. All right. So if you think of his typical plays, a lot of it incorporates a lot of monks, or a lot of castles. And if not that, usually some fast siege, but it's like low economy, super fast army is your typical play. And so I was thinking he's Armenians. He's going to maybe play monks. And I have the Bengalis here because you get good vills, you got good monks. Sorry for the bigger trees here, by the way. But yeah, that's kind of my thought process. But I did not do my homework. Usually what helps me, information. And so Phosphoru comes forward. Every time we play, he will always ask, are we laming? I think with other people, they're already trying to steal stuff from him. So he did ask, we lame. And apparently 25 seconds was too long. I said, up to you. And he had already decided he was going to try and lame. So he was going to try and steal some stuff and just be a pain. But I was thinking in this moment, I don't remember a ton of what I was thinking. There's two things I remember. The first one I remember was, this is a test, right? I don't want an advantage with a boar or a couple sheep. This is the first time I'm playing against this strat. I want to get a feel for how it is in a normal game, right? So, what I could do is I could try and go like fast castle pressure and go for the stone, which is what he likes to do with unique units. Or I figured what I could do is I could go for the monks. It's kind of two options when you're playing versus Phosphoru. And that's rather interesting, but basically his builds are designed to break feudal pressure. So you could think normally you're thinking like scouts, normally you're thinking man-at-arms, whatever. I was not thinking that because normally his builds are designed to break feudal pressure. So, I'm going to speed up because we got a couple games to show you here. Probably should have done that already. Do me a favor and like the video. And later on, you haven't seen enough yet to know if you're going to like this. So don't leave a comment now at 2:52 and say you like the video because you didn't even see it yet. But anyways, let me know at the end your thoughts and like it if you enjoy the extra effort here. So, we're chatting here as we do. He says maybe it'll be new. So look, he says, if you play feudal, I say I will die. Because all of his builds, usually, like the way I play him, I always have to go to Castle Age. Because all those builds, like getting super fast unique units, which have lots of great stats, kill feudal age units, or fast siege, for example, kill feudal age units. So, I'm going to add a couple extra vills to go fast castle. I know he typically goes up and doesn't create vills. So with my logic, I'm like, okay, we just need to defend from the initial attack and we win. That's usually how I see it. His scout shows up to my base. Again, I had not done my research. I did not see the games yet. It was on my list to do. And here I actually don't have Loom, being a little bit greedy. So he's thinking about sniping a villager, making sure I'm paying attention. And I see Market Blacksmith. And so Armenians have the mule carts, so I figured like he's going to put everything on gold now. He's going to make monks and only monks. That was my thinking. And so my scout's pretty active. But for the time being, I don't see him on gold. So I'm like, okay, that's not that. Doesn't mean he can't move to the gold. If it was building a mining camp, it'd be bigger commitment. And now I see villagers coming forward. And so what I didn't scout a lot was the stone here. So, like, if you go fast castle these days, he likes to castle drop your face. So my first instinct was, oh, okay, he thinks I have the better monk civ and better eco civ, so he's just going to castle drop my face. So I bring the vills. So here we go, bringing the vills. And I wanted to have slightly more than him so I could win the vill fight. And so I've got 14 vills, and we're pushing them back. We're going to receive the additional vills with the Bengalis. As long as this castle doesn't go up on my face, I'm going to be into the next game before you know it, and thinking, why on earth did I play this? What in the world was this? Which is a common feeling you can have. when you're up against Phosphoru. Again, I'm thinking it's going to be a castle. We're 13 minutes, and it is a monastery. Or more specifically, a fortified church, which only the Armenians and the Georgians get. And there's a couple different things you could talk about with the fortified church, but there's one which I've hated since the start. It fires arrows. How does it fire arrows? Who's in there? This is a place of God. Anyways, I'm not going to rant about this. Armenians get a free relic from their first church. So all of a sudden, I'm like, well, I haven't faced up against this before. Okay, we did kill a Vil. I'm battering this church down, like, almost immediately. And there's some weak villagers there for him, and I'm going to add my own monastery, because I was planning on making monks, right? So, again, I'd never faced up against this before. I took that down pretty quickly, which is kind of nice. But now there's two of them next to each other. And so if you look, he'll put some Vils. Well, right now, he's got to switch. He still hasn't switched. He's got to put, yeah, okay, so now he's got Vils in each. So now they protect each other. And so now I'm like, I'm not so certain about this. It is expensive for him to build these churches, though. And it's just, he's just going to stack churches on my face. And so, yeah, it's really hard to know what to do. And the thing you got to think about right now is I've got 23 Vils, and all of my Vils are battering down these churches. Whereas for him, there's actually villagers working right now on resources, and he's producing some. So the church is hitting you at 13 minutes, and being like this massive freaking tower is actually pretty insane, because the only way I could deal with it in this case is to use Vils. If I waited for Siege, it would be too late. And we're going to investigate through a lot of games, but this is where I realized I am probably dead. But again, in the back of your mind, you're just like, well, I'm making eco and he's not. You tell yourself that. That is unfortunately not actually the case. Idle TC time's identical, I guess, but he has access to food. And now I'm going to fight on because, well, I you know, it's the first time against it. I gotta fight. See how it goes. So, you know, my wood income is nil. It's kind of funny is he can't take relics right now. He can't take his relic right now. I'm going to snag a relic. And here he comes again. I did realize throughout that fight, like, okay, I need some of my Vils working. Pretty poor timing on that as I bring more villagers. But look how fast it goes up. And then look how annoying it is to take down. I've taken down like 3 or 4 of them at this point. And now there's another church being dropped. And now we got a couple quick walls from him, which make it harder for me to go with Vils. Remember, I have no wood. And I'm barely floating any res to really buy the wood. Like, I'd have to buy 200. I don't have the res for that. But I'm hoping to hold on by converting his Vils. I've got the super strong monks. So that's my plan. There goes another church battered down with villagers. I'm enjoying my life. This is what this looks like. And we're making progress here. I figured he's going to run out of resources eventually. Or maybe he's going to run out of Vils. I come to go take this church down, and he converts a villager. We do take that church down. And we're doing okay, guys. 25 Vils versus 23. This is Arabia, by the way. Look at the difference in res collected, though. Can we talk about that? 2,000 more resources collected for him because of this safe economy back home that has been working untouched, right? And so res destroyed is probably interesting. You see value destroyed there. I've destroyed about as much value as he's collected over me. So you could argue it's even in that regard because I've destroyed all these churches. But life is only going to get harder for me, especially if he converts villagers. And my thinking was, well, now I've got to take care of his monks. Monks are my only plan. I need to get a good moment with atonement. But yeah, it's obnoxious. There's no other real way to say it. I can't take my main gold. I can't take this gold. The churches are huge. And we are falling so far behind, it's not even close at this point. And churches will kill more villagers. And if not kill more villagers, just taking care of the church nukes my entire economy. So if I run from the churches, he just chases me with churches and monks and I lose. If I attack the churches, I lose. This is snowballed completely out of control. We do get a couple monk conversions there with Atonement, which made me feel like maybe there's still opportunities. The score made me feel like there were opportunities. And again, this is the first time I ever faced up against this, and I say this is something else. 20 pop. We're making progress. And we really need to convert as monks here, but we have to be careful because the arrow fire will attack our monks. We did take out the one church before Atonement. We're doing it, guys. We're actually doing it. Get off my freaking lawn, Phosphoru. Just don't look at the resources collected and everything's fine. Okay, that's my advice to you. You have to ignore that stat. That's very important. I don't think he has devotion now. But I don't have the eco for that. I haven't had food eco in forever. And I'm just saying devoted, I assume, because I'm thinking that he got conversions that... Or I didn't get conversions as quickly as I would have wanted. And, yeah, I mean, he's got more monks than me. He's going to convert my monks. I'm at 17 population now. We have taken out a lot of churches. That's maybe a value destroyed record for this stage of the game with this population, and I dropped the GG. And that's my first experience with it. So, here's the thing. That's really freaking fast, guys. That castle age time is so crazy. You don't really have time to go for options in castle age. So if I wanted to even drop a castle, that wouldn't have worked well. 12:58 castle time. It's obnoxious. It's annoying. And in Phosphoru's words, by the way, he said, I'm trying to get this nerfed. He thinks it's broken, so he is using it on people until probably other people use it, and then the devs say, okay, we actually have a problem. But let me show you a couple games here, because this was just one. This is the first time I experienced it in any way. I've got a few more games to show you. Okay, so obviously after that, I paid a lot of attention to what he was up to, and I did find that this strategy worked even better on enclosed. Because on enclosed, the downside is that you're like enclosed into this area. Or sorry, that's the upside. Typically, against Phosphoru's strategy, you could be trapped by churches. Sounds like a really stupid... Someone being trapped by the church is a completely different situation, different storyline than being trapped by churches in Age of Empires. But anyways, we got Ezio coming over here. He knows he's up against something crazy when he's up against Phosphoru, so he's going to try and lame. And I think he kills 2 buffaloes there. Ezio is arguably one of the best civs, or if not the best civ for this map, the Chinese. A nice Vil lead at the start. Good discounts on everything. And this is a good scout rush opening map. Now, the reason I'm showing you this game is because what I was trying to do was go fast castle. And I immediately was like, okay, I don't think fast castle is necessarily the play against this. That's what I think is fun, is everyone is going to usually try and go some sort of fast castle against him. And so this strategy kind of beats that in a fun way. But anyways, Ezio's going to drop the villager over here on the berries. Phosphoru's over here trying to disrupt pushing in the deer, which is very good, actually, because the Chinese player would love that. Yeah, around the same elo, these players, 2200 elo. But it's not going to be a fast castle from Ezio at all. Now, what I didn't have a lot of time to do is Phosphoru is actually going to push in this deer with the Vil. I didn't actually have time to see if Ezio had played Phosphoru before. Like if he had played other games and had experience. See, this was like 2 weeks ago. And this was right when he debuted the strategy. So the games that you're going to see against him now are a little bit different because people see it, people know what's up. And usually, sorry Phosphoru, but the videos, they actually hurt his chances of victory because everyone's like, oh my god, this is happening right now. My take, though, by the way, from day one, as this is hilarious, from day one was that churches shouldn't fire arrows. Relics certainly shouldn't fire arrows. Both players laugh because they worked very hard there, and they respect each other. And now we've got the stable opening here from Ezio. And now we've got Phosphoru on the other side, going fast castle. Ezio obviously probably assumes that. So there's the stable. All things considered, things went very well for Ezio here. Like, he killed 2 buffalo with the lame. He then was able to push in the rest of his deer. He's Chinese. He obviously had his buffalo. Like, he's got a very nice lead. He can snag all the upgrades he might want, and he's going to go fast archer. He's going to add the scouts. And like we said, this is all safe in here if you're by the TC. So Ezio's looping around to the north. He doesn't know a ton about where the opponent is and what the opponent's up to. You saw the house, obviously knows about the berries, and here we go. Here we go. Here come the Vils. This is competitive Age of Empires. And Phosphoru's just marching across the map. It's absolutely ridiculous. 14 Vils. We've got scouts out. We've got an archer. We've got some skirms. You got a couple of Vils moonwalking in there as well. Ezio's been very patient. If you just straight up fight this with everything, the Vils would actually win the fight. And Ezio's bringing Vils as well. So Ezio, kind of like I did, just trying to stop whatever it is, adding your own Vils to the fight to make it messy. Which I think is pretty much what the majority of high-level players will do in this situation. I think it's the right play. And now he finds himself in the situation I was in, where he's here, the church gets built so fast, and now there's two next to each other, and now you've got a third. Now, I kind of feel like, I'm sure Phosphoru's done the math, we're going to slow it down. I kind of feel like if, in that situation, maybe you repair the first one, you don't even need the third. But I think the logic is, like, the only way for them to stop it at this stage is with Vils. And so even if, like, as long as you're killing a couple, this completely nukes the opponent's whole economy. And so, yeah, so far, the churches have killed 7 units. It's hard to keep track because they fire arrows, and you can repair. And then if you see the one's weak, you can garrison. And it's just churches are firing on both sides. Units are dying everywhere. And, I mean, listen, there's strategies that are impressive. There's strategies that are absolutely just ridiculous and cheese. This is ridiculous and cheese, and it's painful to even watch. I'm a big Phosphoru guy, but, like, what is this? This is not Age of Empires 2, dude. Again, look at the eco. There is some food eco for Ezio, but can't really produce more army now. And, okay, took down the church. Now there's going to be another church in range. And the other thing, too, is, like, Phosphoru's still able, if he focuses a little bit more and moves back out to the berries, could actually get food for more Vils. But okay, it's 28 Vils versus 20. Ezio's got a lot of Vils to get to work. In this case, Ezio's collected more resources. Now we'll speed up a little bit more. Spoilers, we're just going to see a church get built time and time again. So there's that. And clearly Ezio's decided, like, I can't have my whole eco attacking these things because this cycle's going to continue forever. So he's going to go to stone. The nice thing about this map is you could move around 5 different areas. There are berries, maybe. But that's not so easy, of course. And now there's another church going up. No ranged upgrades, no fletching, just building a church. And garrisoning a couple Vils and repairing. Now, it's good work here from Ezio. He could stay underneath this church, maybe, but the other church hits him. Loses 2 of his scouts. These villagers can't really attack either. It's 23 to 5 KD here for Phosphoru. And, yep, it's an absolute utter nightmare. It's an absolute utter nightmare for the opponent, who is still going to fight. 13 villagers up. We're now going to see a tower here to kind of block off the Vils from moving this way. I like that. Now, on Arabia, you could counterattack and you could try and hit the eco. That's the thing, is the eco is all walled in and safe. You would almost need to bring Vils and tower that. You're in feudal age, so there's not too much you could do, like rams or something. Ezio's used the market a little bit to try and go up to castle age. The market nerf that happened like 6 months ago, part of the reasoning behind it, I could tell you, was that people were doing Phosphoru-style strategies and just using the market to go up fast. Phosphoru has since said that, I mean, that made his strategy stronger because he doesn't use the market to go that much to go to castle age. And then when people are in this position, they need the market to get up. They need the old market rates. Blue is desperate, but Blue took down 2 churches. We've got some fight here from Ezio. And playing against this guy is crazy. The sad thing is, if you want to attack this church, you have to delete your stable and your archer range, which would just be brutal. So you take down one church, and the amount of Vil investment it takes to do that never really seems to be worth it, because he could just rebuild another one in its place the second you back away. It's like absolutely ridiculous. Also, the church has healed your villagers inside. So if you didn't pick up on that already, you're naturally pulling the weak ones in, as is. But yeah, Phosphoru has shown up to Ezio's door wanting to preach the word of God. It was a Sunday afternoon. Ezio just wanted to watch TV and take a nap. But Ezio, even though he kindly asked, he said he wasn't interested, Phosphoru just stays here and continues to church on his front step. We've got Palisades, which I think is a misclick. Not sure what that is. But we've got more vills coming from Phosphoru now. And another church. And Blue's about to be in Castle Age. Now, it seems like Blue wants to build a castle. But these vills aren't on stone now. He just realized. Phosphoru has farms. Actually got back to producing vills. Vil count's now pretty much even. Blue's done a much better job than me in balancing out, like, actually producing eco. And so, here Phosphoru is going to repair. There's a knight out. Knight could be a problem. But this church is built within range of the other church. The knight couldn't get in there. And so now we've got multiple churches garrisoned. And so it's horrible. Now, guys, in desperation, I'm going to pause because I'm speeding up to show you games. If you're wondering what happened to Blue Stone, these vills are not going to build a castle. Basically, he had no food eco to make knights, and he needs an answer to this. Otherwise, he can't escape the freaking churches. So he sold his stone so he could get gold. That's the situation there. But there are knights here. It's still a really close game. And Blue's just like, what, are you going to church the whole map? If I could spread out and split up, maybe things are okay for me. Nice blocking there from Blue. Very unfortunate, honestly, to not get a few more kills. There is an issue for Blue, though. We've got like 8 working vills, maybe 10 working vills. I guess there's the 11 working vills there. The TC is going to be gone. And now, I didn't actually see this full game. Now I would assume that Phosphoru's main play could actually be to try and go monks. Maybe I'm wrong. As he just bought some stone. I think the vills are maybe going to go out here to the gold to protect it. Because like now you're up against knights and vills. You've done the job with the churches. Feels like 2 monks changed this game pretty massively, right? The vills. Not sure what they're up to. They were going to leave, but maybe he feels like it's not worth the risk here. Blue is on the prowl. Blue is on stone. Blue could castle drop this base, which would be absolutely sick. This game is so much better than I thought. I saw the early game. Phosphoru's got the Vil lead now, but now he's got no army. He needs to get that free relic, put it in a monastery. It's kind of funny how every time this happens, he loses that. And Ezio is going to castle here to protect this, and Phosphoru's going to TC his gold. Oh, could you imagine if Blue built the castle a bit closer to the gold? Oh, man. And Blue's looking now. He's like, okay, where is he? He must be on gold. He's not. Looking around. Again, this is so strong on this map because you can have all this safe, almost guaranteed. And Blue, his brain is probably fried. He doesn't know that there's vills on his gold there. Blue doesn't even know about this gold to take as well if they wanted to. But now Ezio's going to TC this gold. Oh my goodness, bro. Okay, this is funny. Honestly, if Ezio can find enough stone to castle drop this, I think taking care of this is huge. There's no churches here. There's no monks here. There's nothing to defend this. Phosphoru sees the castle there. Can't do too much about that. But is snagging relics with the monks. Has 3 now. And there's the monks there. 1 conversion comes in. Yeah, now with monks, like, your investment into knights is kind of shut down. Chukunu feel like it could be a fairly reasonable option, honestly, if you get a lot of them. But they need ranged upgrade and they need time. And Ezio is really cramped. We do have a TC over here and a TC over here. And guys, I'm just speeding up through these games because there's more I want to show you. That's what I've liked to do with these games, is show you multiple examples of what's happening. So we saw the straight fast castle with me. Now we see like the feudal age hybrid approach against it. And this has become a boom for Phosphoru, actually adding tons of eco and making monks everywhere. I think the key here is Phosphoru's found a little bit of stone. Once Chukunu gets converted, the monks are all around. And Ezio's probably just shocked, right? Because, like, you're expecting the opponent to have no eco. Or if the push doesn't kill you, it's game over. That's like the thinking that players will have against him, but that's not actually the case. Like, I don't think there's many other players that can continually adapt past the initial rush. You might face up against some people who try this strategy now, guys. Sorry. And, you know, they might not have the adaptations here. But it's really frustrating to deal with. It's very difficult to deal with. And now, and people don't like to lose to it. So Ezio's going to run even more now. Which honestly makes sense. 3 churches just completely eliminate the TC. And now we have the castle I wanted. Oh, let's go, baby. I want to see Phosphoru build a church wall along the front of the TC. It would look ridiculous. I also wish Capstrage would tell me how many he's built throughout a game. At the moment, there are 12 churches. Nope, 14 churches. And never mind, he actually buys a castle. He had a decent amount of stone, but buys some stone. Drops a castle on the other side. And monks do get sniped by some light cav here. So the issue for Ezio has been... Oh! The issue for Ezio is his eco has been split up. But now Phosphoru's attention is split. I guess he does get some conversions on the light cav there. But this game is absolutely crazy. Eventually, one of these castles is going to win the fight. And Phosphoru is going to drop another church to harass that eco. And knights came this way. They're just running into churches everywhere. The opponent has vision everywhere. There can be no surprises. Phosphoru is building a church underneath the opponent's castle. Is making a siege workshop. Is probably going to go for rams. This church got denied. Ezio, 34 villagers. Just probably cannot believe the economy his opponent has. And he's going to continue to send it. Drops another castle here, which is sick. And Phosphoru now is going to build a church against it. Because why not? Does the church beat a castle? Excuse me? Well, it certainly builds faster. And it fires enough arrows for this to be really dangerous. So yeah. Castle's going to go up. But there's 3 churches here. 3 churches versus a castle. You might need to research murder holes, which should help the churches. Church, murder. It's synonymous. Well, actually, historically, it is very synonymous. Just not in this way, you know? We're not going to really get into all that. But Phosphoru adapted amazingly by, you know, adding the eco after the churches. And his opponent... His opponent can't believe it. Just, I mean, what a way to lose. This is absolutely horrible. I'm making it worse by uploading it to YouTube as well. It's just obnoxious, guys. And my feeling on it is churches just shouldn't fire arrows. I feel like they never should have in the first place. It's weird to me that you can build a church in front of your TC and shut a whole push down. You combine that with the fact that there's other unique bonuses with these churches. The fact that you can garrison in and out of them with villagers and with units. Armenians make the warrior priests. Georgians have a work rate increase. Like, there's already so many other bonuses with the churches. Opponent finally taps out. But yeah, this is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I'm just going to zoom out. We had 24 total churches in this game built. by Phosphoru, and that is, of course, before we factor in the ones that were destroyed. In fact, if we really want to get technical and mathy with it, we could see how many buildings were destroyed. So Ezio destroyed 9 buildings. I'm going to assume most of that was churches. So 24 plus 9, 30 plus churches. No military for a very long time, just churches. And it got the job done. It is obnoxious. So first game, Fast Castle didn't necessarily work. This game, Feudal Age, didn't necessarily work. Well, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Well, I'm going to show you. I mean, there's more games. I'm going to bring more games to the channel. I'm going to show you the game I just finished with him. In fact, the game I just played reminded me, oh, shoot, I need to show YouTube. So I just played against him. This is like after watching a dozen or so games, I kind of had a feel for what I would potentially do. Okay, so I went for the same exact civilization, half because I wanted to test the, see if I could do it with this civ, which didn't work out last time. But also half because I didn't know if he was still doing this push. And I think Bengalis is kind of a safe play, against some of the other plays that could potentially happen. So, Phosphoru and I are going to chat as we do in our Dark Ages, at least when we're not laming each other. And it's Armenians. Now, the first time Fast Castle, I think that just cannot work. By the time, you're going to get to Castle Age and you're going to have churches on your face. You don't have time to make siege. Any siege you make can just get taken up by villagers anyways. It's really awkward. So, I actually think Feudal Age can work really, really well. Okay? I think the best thing, my thinking is, or was leading into this, you open archers because it's the best chance to snipe villagers when compared to scouts, right? Like scouts, you make 3 scouts versus 14 vills. Well, you can't really engage because all the vills can collapse around you. With archers, you can hit and run a little bit. And so you open with archers, you combine archers maybe with whatever feels right after that. You obviously have to adapt a little bit based on what you see. And let me tell you, it's very stressful when you know this is coming. I cannot imagine people who are just genuinely surprised by it now. I think there may be some people who like to play more meta style who are going to have... They're going to be absolutely terrified when they see someone play Armenians now. Because that's the thing. It's not necessarily is it good or bad half the time. It's like, there's something frustrating to deal with and to give someone a bit of a mental edge. So, I could have actually gone up a little bit faster here, I think. Had lots of food. But I'm going to get the additional 2 vills with Bengalis. And my thinking now is we got to scout him to see what he's going to do. We cannot let him get those churches up on our face. It'd be a horrible, horrible thing. And it's mainly the churches. That's the build, right? That's it. Now, in his case, so this is where it gets interesting. I actually think this is one of the rare instances where him not scouting is absolutely horrible, right? I think if he could scout the fact that I'm opening archers and knows that right now, you could change your strategy. You could go scorpions or something, right? A couple scorpions right away as the opening. But that is the downside of Phosphoru. He is adaptable after the opening, but he doesn't adapt to what the opponent does. The opponent somewhat adapts to him. So, archer range is up. Couple archers are on the way. And I'm keeping a very close eye on things. The number one thing you need to act on is your scout. You cannot lose your scout whatsoever. Have to know what's coming. In his case, he knows where my base is, and he will see an archer range with a flag, and I completely failed the quick wall there, but get lucky, his scout goes down. And he sees my scout on the left. Now, my hope was that would send him forward. And so here he goes. He's on the way forward. You could tell he's trying to do a loop-de-loop, but now he's been spotted, and now there's archers with fletching. So you get archers with fletching here, and now he can't advance out. And so the whole strategy is at least slowed down. And I know, guys, you're experienced. You know what's up. You look at this. 18 on wood, 0 on food, 0 on gold. Panic Siege Workshop, that's kissing the TC. It's basically making out with the TC. Is this good for him? No, he's going to lose, right? We'll see. Siege Workshop is up. Obviously, I know that's probably going to be a Scorpion. And I'm going to have my work cut out for me. At home, we've been adding eco. I've got the archers, and here he comes. Scorpion is a little bit scary. But I also kind of felt like maybe I could send a couple Vils to help attack and kill that Scorpion. Not everything. That'd be flashbacks to what happened before. I'll actually slow it down a little bit here. I lost sight of him, unfortunately. I thought he was coming this way. And we did just camp our archers here for the time being to apply a little bit of pressure on the main eco. On enclosed, you can't do this, right? This is not an option. Here comes the church. My archers are on the move. My Vils are here as well. And I really just want to take care of this Scorpion. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And so now that the Scorpion's not here, now that I also have archers, I figured now I could send the Vils. Now we can bring the Vils. Now we can take care of this. 35 Vils versus 16 is what we see. I don't actually know that in the moment. That's the last thing on my mind. I'm looking at the churches on the front of my face. Okay, so another church is up. I've killed 3 Vils. I'm going to lose 1. I'm going to lose some... I think I lose an archer there. And I lose another archer. Really tough to control all this. And so another church goes up. He's garrisoning everything that's weak that he can. I've still got some of my Vils working, which is good. I'm trying to sit underneath this church because that's going to be the one that fires. I'm going to lose the archer anyways. I lose the scout anyways. I've got villagers dying anyways. And this is horrible. It is not a good time right now. Now, we still have these archers that are here. I've still got the scout around. I'm still trying to disrupt his eco. I was here before where I was just thinking he can't keep doing this, surely. He can't keep affording all of this. And so archer goes down because the arrows fire. I also feel like the church is very accurate compared to other buildings, but I could be very wrong. And it's just the same old, stupid, no good cycle of churches. But we've got better ratios than we did the first attempt, right? You have Vils constantly attacking the churches, and then you have enough to produce army at the exact same time. So I thought maybe I could just tower it as well, but I mean, it's a real problem. I don't have the resources to produce more scouts consistently. I pulled Vils off gold for some of this, so I think I'm going to fix that at some point. But I just... Any form of resistance that I could apply, I'm going for. He's at 15 Vils. The tower's up. Now repairs can't happen. And we're sending him the right way. Away from our base. So, yeah. The good news for me here is we've killed enough of these villagers to make this really difficult for him to replicate. And we've still got enough eco applying some focus at home. I mean, I don't know how many churches we've destroyed at this point. But I looked at this and said, okay, this church literally doesn't do anything right now. And he can't, easily church hop to do immediate damage. So if his second church was, say, here, that protects this church, but it doesn't do immediate damage. So this church is now unprotected. So I thought, let's... Well, that's a mistake. Actually, you know what happened there? I tried to set the rally point on the archer range, but I'm like, let's chill for a little bit. Brought a little bit of army here. I recommend just sitting your units on stand grounds because they're going to be in a position to eventually get some hits. And at this stage, it's just kind of like, I mean, he's got nothing. He's got 13 Vils. The churches don't protect each other. And I'm able to mass a few more archers just in case. Here, he's got to make a church defensively, which won't fire arrows unless he garrisons, but still could always. So we park our archers around the range of that. And now I've got some scouts. And his weakness here was that his church wasn't next to another church, and it just gets battered down. I don't know if you heard my sigh there, but yeah. Just... crazy. I feel like I had to work so much harder in this game than a normal game. And playing this game is hard. But it's a pain. He calls the GG. And then he said that losing that first Scorpion was the biggest problem, which honestly was a really big problem with that build. So he did adapt it. But he needed the Scorpion to protect him early on. Otherwise, maybe it could have snowballed more on me. So, if you're up against this, like, I suggest opening archers and adapting a little bit. Again, the scouts were valuable a bit more later on when you had better eco. It was just a combination of having army and vills. And I think the important fact is that we delayed him coming forward. Now, I don't want to take like insane amounts of credit for this approach because like Ezio in the previous game also went for feudal age army. He also brought out vills and not all of his vills, and it did snowball on him. So I think this is absolutely insane. And I think about it from like the average player. This is not going to produce normal Age of Empires 2 games. Phosphoru has done some crazy things. He's been disappointed or not disappointed at what the devs have done. There have been balance changes based around some of these builds to make it less likely. Not that like some of these crazy strategies won't work. That'd be bad balance in my opinion, but make it less OP and smothering at times, right? I'm just going to say straight up, I think if the churches don't fire arrows, boom, the rush is dead. And then you could still do other really unique things with the churches, which is kind of what the civs are designed around. You got the Georgians, which gives you the extra eco work rate around there. That's really, really strong. The Armenians get the extra relic. You can produce the warrior priests. I mean, maybe that's a build right there. Producing some warrior priests, you would obviously need food for that. If you could get a couple warrior priests with the forward fortified churches, that would be very strong. But the churches themselves, how hard they are to take out, combined with the fact they fire arrows, make it very complicated. And Phosphoru said, I'm trying to get this nerfed. So, we'll see what happens there. Obviously, we've got a big patch on the horizon in our game, which I'll be making lots of videos on. My plan is to cast new games, like tons of games once they're played on the new patch, once that comes up, guys. But it's been a bit since we've done any Phosphoru videos. There will be many, many, many more in the future because he's very active, trying different things. And as always, YouTube content hopefully is going to be stacked. The next week or two will be a little bit lighter on the streaming side, so I can get back to producing some really good videos for you all. So if you enjoyed this, please leave a like. It does help. Leave a comment if you feel like it. And it just tells me and my team that we're doing some things right here. Appreciate you guys. Shoot, I don't know the exact date of upload on this, but it might be on my 32nd birthday. So, yep, we're all getting old. I'll be 32 years old and still haven't really moved on from this game. Thank you, everybody. See you in the next one. Take care.